A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Ξεκινάμε την ιστορία της οικογένειας Finch.
I lived here until I was 11.
Πολύ ωραία γραφικά. Πραγματικά πολύ ωραία γραφικά.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Δεν είχα ανοιχτεί τα γράμματα, Λογαριασμοί βλέπω.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Για όνειρα, να περάσουμε. Ναι, Τζον, είναι πολύ ωραίο το παιχνίδι, πάρα πολύ ωραίο.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Λες από εδώ πάω ή από εδώ? Από εδώ πάω.
No one had driven this way in a long.
Για να σου πω την ιστορία, είναι μια οικογένεια, Finch λέγεται, της οποίας έχει μια κατάρα η οικογένεια αυτή. Πεθαίνουν όλοι νέοι. Και τώρα πάει αυτή η γυναίκα να δει το σπίτι, το οποίο είναι εγκατελειμμένο πολλά χρόνια εδώ πέρα μέσα. Και κάθε ιστορία του σπιτιού είναι το πώς πέθανε το κάθε μέλος της οικογένειας η τελευταία μέρα του. Κατάλαβες? Και τώρα θα εξερευνήσουμε το σπίτι που είναι εγκατελειμμένο, ερημωμένο, και θα δούμε πώς πέθανε το κάθε μέλος την τελευταία μέρα του. Πώς την τελευταία του δηλαδή μέρα.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Πολύ ωραίο παιχνίδι, παιδιά. Πάρα πολύ ωραίο παιχνίδι, έχει πολύ ωραία αφήγηση και θα δούμε ολονών τις ιστορίες.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Δεν πάω, εδώ πάω.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Κάτσε λίγο. Ψέματα.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Ναι, το θέμα είναι ότι που θα ολοκληρωθεί τώρα. Τι άλλη είσοδο? Κλειδί δεν έχω. Γιατί αυτό είναι αρριμωμένο και το κλειδί αυτό που έχω εγώ δεν ταιριάζει, άρα πρέπει να μπω από κάπου αλλού. Όχι από εδώ. Πού μπορώ να πω, μωρέ? Κάτω λες, θα πάω εκεί.
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
Τι είναι αυτό? Ο δράκος λέει. Τότε να πάω αλλού. Το παλιό δεν είναι μέσα στο σχειριστήριο. Εδώ. Α, τρύπα αυτό.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Τι έχει εδώ πέρα? Πώς?
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Ωραίο σπίτι, ναι.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Και φίλτρο, συγβρίσια.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Cuidadinho.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Τι ωραίο σπίτι μου, ναι. Πανέμορφο. Έμενε άνετα. Έμενε εσύ.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine great-grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Και τι ωραία θέα. Και τι ωραία θέα. Wow. Κοίτα τραπέζι. Καμία σχέση. Πανάκριβο αυτό το τραπέζι.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
After it sank? Αυτό το πρώτο σπίτι που είχαν και μετά βυθίστηκε και φτιάξανε ένα καινούριο, Και αυτά τα τούβλα είναι από αυτό το σπίτι. Ωραία ιστορία. Και τι σπίτι, τι ωραία βιβλία έχει εδώ. Tales of Tales and Domains, The Hunter's Roast, The Book of Sad, A Time and the Gods. Και εμένα μου αρέσει. Πανέμορφο σπιτάκι. Πω, τι ωραίο σπίτι. Από εδώ πέρα κατεβαίνουμε κάτω. Εδώ αυτό. Μια ονόρκη.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Τώρα είμαι εγώ στο κάτω μέρος,
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Δεν ταιριάζει. Αυτό το κλειδί σίγουρα που έχω κάτι που κάπου με οδηγεί.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Τι, με αφορά το βουλώσανε? Γιατί?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Εδώ τι έχει? Αχ, φως. Μπορώ να ανάψω από εκεί, να πάω? Όχι, δεν μπορώ, έχει έπλα. Οπα. Κάποιος ήταν εδώ πέρα ανάπηρος ή γέρος.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Ναι, αυτή η ώρα έγλες. Το σπίτι αυτό πανάκριβο. Κάτσε, άλλη πόρτα έτσι. Α, κάποιος από τους προγόνους.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
Μπάρμπαρα, 1940-1960. Τότε πέθανε, 16 χρονών.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Γιατί ρέτρο? Το βλέπεις? Το είδα. Το είδα. Α, αυτό εδώ.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Έπαιζε σε ταινίες αυτή μικρή. Έφυγε στην Αμερική. Το τι είναι αυτό? Το οποίο ξεκινάει από εδώ. Μια μπρίζα. Η οποία μπρίζα πηγαίνει εδώ.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Το κλείδωσε η μάνα της αυτό. Δεν την αφήνει να περάσει από εδώ. Οπότε ψάχνω αλλού. Τι ωραία βιβλία. Όπα, κι άλλος εδώ. Ποιος είναι αυτός? Ο Γκρέγκορι. Αυτός πέθανε ενός χρονού.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Ναι. Εδώ. Αυτός 11.
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Λοιπόν, από κάτω ήρθα εγώ, να το τζάκι. Από εδώ ήρθα εγώ, Κοίτα πόσο μου αρέσει αυτό το πράγμα. Πολύ μου αρέσει. Έτσι που βάζουν όλες τις φωτογραφίες των προγόνων τους. Πολύ μου αρέσει. Όπα, εδώ πέρα, για να δω.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Λες το κλειδί να ταιριάζει εδώ πέρα? Για να μάθουμε λοιπόν τις ιστορίες.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Chapter 1.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Αυτό είναι το κλειδί που είχε δώσει η μάνα της, Εδώ είμαστε. Για να δούμε λοιπόν πώς πέθαναν οι
From the
προγονείς της.
paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Να δούμε εδώ πέρα. Άτο.
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Εντάξει, είναι σαν σπίτι κρυφό μέσα στο σπίτι,
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Σφυρίχτρα.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Για να δούμε πώς πέθανε η Μόλι.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, but I wanted to know what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Τώρα είμαι αυτή μικρή. Πρέπει να κάτι να φάω.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Από το ποντίκι έφαγε μωρέ. Το χάμστερ, τι είναι το χάμστερ, ποντίκι. Έχει μια πόρτα, εδώ έχει κάτι να πάρω. Τι είναι αυτό?
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Για να δω πώς πέθανε μικρή.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Ευχαριστώ. Πεινάει το παιδί και το έχει... Τι να πω ρε παιδί μου. Άπα, κάτι βλέπω εδώ πέρα. Τι είναι αυτό? Όχι. Πώς πάω από εκεί μωρέ? Από εδώ. Και το κλείδωσε κιόλας μέσα.
Eating and eating.
Όλο το χρήμα τρώει. Δεν μου λες ένα βουλημικό γι' αυτό?
I ate a lot of things that night.
Δεν έχει άλλο εδώ? Όχι.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Και έπεσε στο δέντρο.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
Τρούπα. Δεν πάει από πιο άνω. Πάλι πίσω, όχι. Όχι. Από εδώ. Από εδώ. Όχι. Πώς πάμε παιδιά? Α. Τώρα. Πήριξα, ωραία. Πω. Α, το μάθα, τώρα το μάθα.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Και πάω σκάλα πάνω λες? Εδώ. Και μεταξύ τώρα φαντάζεται είναι γάτα. Πού πήγε? Εγώ εκεί πηγαίνετε.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Νάτι. Πού πήγε αυτό? Πώς πάω τώρα εκεί ρε παιδιά? Από εδώ. Είναι το ροή. Οι γάτα πώς πετάνε έτσι? Διαβούνται. Το πουλί είναι εκεί, Πήγε τώρα πάλι αυτό,
I jumped and I almost got her.
Αυτό εκεί είναι. Αυτό δεν τρόσκητο είναι.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Πού είναι ρε? Πού ακριβώς πήγε, το βλέπεις? Να το. Επίδειξε. Δεν πηδάει. Έτσι επιδείξουμε παρά από το... εδώ, να το. Έφυγε.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Από εδώ. Σίγουρα θα πέσει τώρα κατά αυτό. Εδώ. Πάμε από εδώ. Εδώ σε στριμώξει.
I gobbled her up.
Και σκοτώθηκε.
Suddenly, I was first. All I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling.
Τώρα είναι κουβάγια, Μπορούμε να πάω.
Rabbits.
Α, να κυνηγήσω.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Something bigger, Κάτι μεγαλύτερο πρέπει να πιάσω. Το βλάσει.
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Καρδιά είναι αυτή.
And suddenly, I was a shark.
By a shark. Α, είδε ξαφνικά καρχαρία. Τώρα. Α, πρέπει να πέσει στο νερό.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Να, αυτό εδώ θα πιάσω.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Να το. Να το.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Τι με τώρα, Φίδι είναι. Τι αλή. Πού θα πω είναι.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Είναι τέρας που τρώει τους ανθρώπους.
Passenger, I was still hungry, and across the water something new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Το δωμάτιό μου δεν είναι αυτό. Πού να δω. Σε το πάνω. Τι είναι δηλαδή. Υπάρχει φως εδώ.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Αυτό το δωματιώτης είναι ρε.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Ωραία. Γάτα.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Σ' άρεσε παιχνίδι. Πού πας μωρέ και εσύ. Α, τώρα έχει τέτοια.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
Να το...
Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, Kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Grandma Edie's. Yeah.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Μεγάλη κατάρα το χτύπησε, βλέπω. Όντως. Έλα.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse
Αυτός που
behind.
πρέπει να είναι ο προ πάπους της.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Α, έτσι χάθηκε το πρώτο σπίτι.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Αχα.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Α, δείχνει εδώ πέρα πώς το χτίσανε, Οπότε, μάθαμε την ιστορία του σπιτιού.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back.
Αυτός είναι ο προπάτορας, ο πρώτος που ήρθε από Νορβηγία. Ωραίο. Μάθαμε λοιπόν πώς πέθανε αυτός. Έχει τίποτα άλλο εδώ πέρα?
Great grandma had always been the family's biggest fan. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Αυτός είναι ο Λούις που πέθανε 3 χρονών.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Ναι.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Είναι εδώ.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Ναι. Οπότε φεύγω από το δωμάτιο του
Edie knit me a new
πάπου.
pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Αυτό το σπίτι, το δωμάτιο του ED. Της ED. Αυτό το μικρό που δείχνει ποιο είναι? Α, μικρή είναι αυτή. Αυτό δεν ανοίγει. Πάω εκεί από την πόρτα που ανοίγει τώρα. Πολύ ροζ. Πολύ ροζ.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Εδώ μέσα. Ωραίο μπάνιο όμως. Οπα, κάτι είδα. Να το... Αυτό ήθελα. Πώς πέθανε στο... Αυτή πέθανε στο μπάνιο νομίζω, Αυτή πέθανε στο μπάνιο.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Εδώ είμαστε. Άλλο μυστικό πέρασμα του σπιτιού. Πού με βάλει?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Τι είναι αυτό εδώ πέρα? Κούνια είναι αυτό. Κούνια είναι αυτό. Όπα, βγήκαμε σε άλλο δωμάτιο τώρα. Fort Calvin. Ο μικρός είναι αυτός. Πέθανε 11 χρονών. Με τον νεκρό αδερφό του. Ποιος πέθανε από τους δύο, αυτός? Όχι, αυτός ήταν ο νεκρός. Δεν θέλω να μπω, όχι, δεν θέλω να μπω. Τι έχει εδώ?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Είχε... ο δίδυμος αδερφός του.
My grandpa didn't like his...
Είμαστε, να ο Κάλβιν. 11 χρονών, ναι, αυτός είναι.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Σπαθώ να πω ότι βλέπω.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Έλα μία ώρα, πού είναι κάνεις? Να, ποια είναι εκεί που δεν είναι διπλά? Κάποια βλέπω, Αυτήν πρέπει να χτυπήσω. Όχι, πάει. Να,
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Νάτος. Ήθελα και τα δύο πόδια.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Πώς? Ναι. Ναι, κάτσε ρε παιδί μου, συνεχίζω αυτό. Να δούμε τι θα κάνει, τι θα γίνει. Λες να πέσει?
I told him around was impossible.
Εδώ είμαστε, ναι.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
Όπα, τι είναι?
Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Όπα, θα πέσει σίγουρα.
That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Έτσι σκοτώσαι. Έπεσε τον γκρεμό από την κούνια. Έτσι πέθανε ο Κάλβιν.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Κάλβιν έπεσε από την κούνια στον γκρεμό.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Περνάει από εδώ.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Άλλο πέρασμα. Εδώ. Πίσω. Προς την πάνω. Για να δούμε σε ποιο δωμάτιο θα μας βγάλει τώρα.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Εδώ. Αυτό είναι άλλο. Από εδώ. Α, στο δωμάτιο το μυστικό της Μπάρμπαρα. Τη στάρ του σινεμά.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most fortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost Rhea needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So got stuck babysitting youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
Όπα.
That came from the
Τι έγινε εκεί
basement.
πέρα?
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding
Α, να τόσο ο μυστικός κωδικός.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Να το κλειδί.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Αν το συνέχιζα το έβγαζα. Θυμάσαι που το έκανα? Το είχα τώρα να παίζει. Α, εξορκιστής είναι εδώ. Ναι.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Τι λέει ρε φίλε? Για να δούμε τι έγινε.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Έμα βλέπω εδώ πέρα. Μέσα στο ψυγείο το βάλανε. Έλα, πως έκανε φάρσα. Έκανε φάρσα. Φάρσα έκανε ο Χάζος.
Relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
Τον κλείδωσε την άλλο εκεί πέρα μέσα.
Later,
Walter, what's going on up there?
Ο αδερφός της,
I'm coming up. But if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Ωραία φίλε. Μήπως μπήκαν αυτή η μαφία, η συμμορία. Όπα. Όχι, από εδώ, από εδώ.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Όπα, να τους πίσω μου.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's got to be another way out of here.
Από εδώ λέγεται.
She played her part beautifully.
Προχώρα, προχώρα. Α, βγήκα στο δωμάτιο της μικρής. Πάω στο παράθυρο λογικά.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Πάω. Όπα.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Έλα. Όπα.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Την ημέρα του Halloween, Όπα, έφυγε.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Α, πόρτα.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Τι? Όλοι είχαν μπει μέσα?
Oh dear.
Της κάναν φάρσα. Έκπληξη.
Had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole
Τελικά δεν κατάλαβα
time.
τι ήταν αυτή.
He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Το αυτί της.
That's what I call a real eerie tale.
Αυτό μου θυμίζει σαν τις ιστορίες από την κρύπτη, ναι. Η φωνή είναι η ίδια. Το αυτί της Μπάρμπα είναι αυτό. Τελικά αυτή το
Edie
πώς
told me all
πάθανε.
Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Πάει και αυτή η Μπάρμπαρα. Πρέπει να βρούμε και τους υπόλοιπους πώς πάθανε. Τι είναι αυτό? Happy birthday, Μπάρμπαρα. Ήταν από και καλά που τους κάνανε την έκπληξη. Δεν μπορώ να φύγω, οπότε πρέπει να φύγω πάλι από το ίδιο σημείο, γιατί σε ένα σημείο, καθώς ερχόμουν, μπορούσα να βγω και από εκεί. Οπότε από εδώ πέρα φεύγω.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Να το εδώ, αυτό. Νύχτος έξω. Το music box που το είχα, θυμάσαι? Κάτω ήτανε. Κάτσε λίγο.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Οπότε πάω music box τώρα. Εδώ. Είναι δίπλα στο υπόγειο. Λοιπόν... Να το. Να το. Το έβγαλα. Και ανοίγω αυτό εδώ. Ήταν εδώ που είχε βρεθεί αυτή, Εν μεταξύ τον φίλο της δεν τον βρήκανε.
The basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Α, το ψυγείο.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Είχε μυστικό δωμάτιο το ψυγείο. θέμα είναι ότι δεν κάποια σπηλιά. Θέμα είναι ότι... Κάτσε λίγο να βάλω φωτισμό, δεν έχω φως. Brightness. Καλά είναι εκεί.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Εδώ. Να το.
If there's a pattern in all these stories...
Τι λέει ρε φίλε, εδώ έχει ένα σωρό πράγματα έχει. Τι είναι αυτή.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 χρόνια κάτω. 30 χρόνια κάτω.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Αυτό ήταν σε ένα υπόγειο 30 χρόνια. Τότε είπες με την πυρηνική έκρηξη.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough,
1976 Ιανουάριος. Για λίγο τώρα. Πάλι το ίδιο.
even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped.
2005.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Κοίτα. Αυτό είναι σαν καταφύγιο πολέμου από πυρηνικό χτύπημα.
I know it's out there.
Ναι, καταφύγιο πολέμου είναι αυτό.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly.
Πού είναι τώρα, πού πάω τώρα?
And Calvin.
Κάτσε να πάρω αυτό.
Maybe this is all a mistake.
Α, το τείχος πάει.
But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a week. I'd be happy with 1 year a day.
Σίγουρα το χτυπήσει τρένο, σίγουρα.
Σίγουρα,
δεν στο παγώ, τρένο, να το. Μετά από 30 χρόνια βγήκε από το τέτοιο καταφύγιο και το χτύπησε τρένο.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Οπότε αυτό το χτύπησε τρένο, νάτος, αυτός εδώ είναι.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Κάτσε να πάω την διαδρομή που ακολούθησε κι αυτός. Έλα. Πέσε.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Έλα. Ωραία. Για να δούμε λοιπόν τι θα κάνει τώρα αυτός.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house.
Ο θείος αυτός κάτω από το σπίτι. Τώρα θα είμαι γιατί ζούσε κάτω από το σπίτι.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Καλά, εντάξει, πάρα το λούτι είχε εδώ.
Trying to bury something
Για να δω
that's
λοιπόν τώρα
still
τι γίνεται.
alive.
Όπα, για να δούμε
Now that
τώρα.
there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
Βγήκανε, παιδί μου.
Found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse.
Α, τώρα σκεπάστηκε από το νερό, όπως σκεπάστηκε το παλιό το σπίτι. Να το. Προς τιμήν του. Κοίταξε, θυμάσαι που είχε πέρα δέντρα. Τώρα εδώ δεν έχει θάλασσα. ...1952-2005. Το θέμα είναι τρόπο πάω. Λογικά από εδώ. Οπότε ακολουθώ το δρομάκι.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Φωτοκύτταρα.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Απα. Κάτι κάγκελα βλέπω εκεί. Λογικά εδώ πέρα θέλει να με οδηγήσει. Μπα, δεν μπορώ, όχι. Μήπως μπορώ από εδώ? Όχι, δεν με αφήνει. Οπότε λογικά θα γυρίσω πίσω, γιατί βλέπω έχει σκάλες εδώ, οπότε ανεβαίνω πάνω.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Ναι, από εδώ πάω, σωστά. Πάντως είναι πανέμορφο το μέρος. Στο καλύτερο μέρος είχαν το σπίτι τους.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Ξαναγύρισα. Και λογικά θα πηγαίνω από εδώ. Αν δεν μου δίνει... Ναι, από εδώ πάω.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Τι ωραία ατμοσφαιρικό
What kind of
παιχνίδι
family
αυτό, μωρέ.
finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Εδώ... Όχι. Από εδώ.
It's embarrassing for me to admit that the
Όπα,
pet cemetery
όλοι εδώ
may be
νεκροί
more
είναι.
uncomfortable than the human one.
Κοίτα.
3 of the gerbils are mine and 2 had been my fault.
Τα μικρά για τα παιδάκια, Τα ζωάκια είναι αυτά. Darby Junior, Lucy. Oh. Εδώ το κημητήριο της οικογένειας.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Barbara Finch. Το 44, 60, 24 χρόνια αυτή. Sven. Ναι. Αυτός εδώ γιατί είναι έτσι και το πριώνει. Σώπα ρε. Οπότε πάω από εδώ. Και αυτός λογικά είναι ο προπάπους,
My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Ναι, που βυθίστηκε το σπίτι, ναι, καλά λες, να το. Το σπίτι που βυθίστηκε,
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Και λογικά κοιτά από εδώ. Να το.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house.
Να το παλιό
every
σπίτι.
night.
Φίλε, δίπλα στον φάρο. Και πάλι πέρα εδώ, όχι. Εντάξει, τελείωσε. Οπότε πρέπει να πιστέψω πίσω. Δεν έχει τίποτα από εδώ πέρα να κοιτάξω. Να. Όχι, δεν έχει. Όχι. Πάω πίσω. Είναι αυτό. Λογικά τους γύρους κάνεις. Κάτσε, μόνο αυτό είναι δηλαδή. Όχι, μόνο αυτό είναι. Άρα πάω πίσω. Φεύγω πίσω. Ναι, φεύγω πίσω.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. The more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam Finch, Gregory Finch, Gus Finch.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Τι γίνεται, παιδιά, τι κατάρα είναι αυτή, όλοι νέοι πεθαίνουν.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Πού θα πάω.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there would be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Πού πάει, μωρέ. Θα πέσει, σκοτωθεί αυτή. Ανέβηκε πάνω στην ταράτσα. Όχι, εδώ πάω. Έχει τίποτα εδώ. Κάτσε να δω. Α, όχι, σκάλα, δεν την είδα. Τώρα την είδα. Για να ανέβω από εδώ πέρα.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Για να δω λοιπόν που θα μας βγάλει τώρα το σπίτι.
They were both pretty intense.
Αυτό είναι του παππού του στο δωμάτιο.
Sam spent his life shooting photos,
έκανε
but Mom said he
σαφάρι
got
στην
nervous
Αφρική.
being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Ό,τι άλλο μπορεί να έχει.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Πολέμησε εδώ πέρα, βλέπω στον πόλεμο εδώ πέρα. Τίποτα δεν έχει άλλο. Το δωμάτιό του, το κρεβάτι του. Οπότε λοιπόν πάμε εδώ πέρα. Όπα. Πού βγήκαμε? Στην οροφή. Τι ωραίο παιχνίδι, ρε παιδί μου. Τα αστέρια πως φαίνονται. Βγήκαμε στον Γκρέγκορι. Γκρέγκορι Ντόν. Για να δω πως πέθανε αυτός. Divorce?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Κοίτα πως μικρός εδώ.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Γκρέγκορι είναι βρέφος, ρε. Το άφησε μόνο το παιδί. Και πνίγηκε.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Κάτι θα κάνει τώρα αυτό και θα ανοίξει τη βρύση. Κάτι τέτοιο πλησιάζομαι εγώ.
It reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Ελάτε.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Βρέχει. Α, θα χτυπηθεί από κεραυνό. Σίγουρα.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Εντάξει, όλοι μέσα, αυτός έξω. Ωραία.
But all my father said to this was, make the music louder.
Πω. Όπα, λάτος. Το πλάκωσε η τέντα.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Α, το κακοκαιρία σκοτώθηκε αυτός. Αυτό. Εννοείται.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Πάει και αυτός. Μάθαμε και αυτήν την ιστορία. Όπα, εδώ έχει μία σκάλα. Ωραία, ωραία. Πάρα πολύ ωραία. Πώς φυσάει έτσι, πώς φυσάει έτσι. Τι είναι αυτό?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Α, αυτά είναι. Όπα.
Religion was another thing my mom never told me about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Τι ωραίο σπίτι είναι αυτό. Σαν δεντρόσπιτο έρχεται, κάτι τέτοιο.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Σχολείο. Μέσα στο σπίτι. Σου έκανε μάθημα. Πω, κοίτα
But
θέα.
it didn't last.
Τι ωραία θέα είναι αυτή, ωραία. Λάπτοπ βλέπω. Αυτή εδώ είναι η μητέρα της. Είχε πάει δασκάλα στην Ινδία και ο πατέρας είναι Ινδός, ο Σάντζεϊ. Και αυτά τα παιδιά που κάνανε. Puppets.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday,
Φυσάει πολύ.
when Edie gave him a castle.
Α, το
After
δωμάτιό της
Milton
είναι αυτός.
disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Όπα, πώς θα πω. Αυτά είναι. Μπήκαμε στις Μίλτον το δωμάτιο, η οποία είχε... Το δωμάτιό της ήταν στο υψηλότερο σημείο του σπιτιού. Το καλύτερο κομμάτι πήρε η Μίλτον.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Τι ωραίο. Τι ωραία μουσική.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Α, εξαφανίστηκε η Μίλτον. Ο Μίλτον. Μπορεί να είναι ο Μίλτον, ναι. 11 χρόνια εξαφανίστηκε ο Μίλτον. Ναι. Οπα, από όταν ανεβαίνω από εδώ μετά, Να το, δεν το είδα. Όπα, εντάξει. Πάει πάλι πίσω. Ζωγράφος ήτανε.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Τι ωραία μουσική ρε παιδιά. Πολύ ωραία μουσική.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Θέα,
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job. Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
Άρα μπορώ να μπω από εκεί. Και μετά μπορώ. Απα, δεν μπορώ. Δεν έχει σκάλα. Έσπασε από τον αέρα μάλλον. Ωραία.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar.
Ο Λούις
That part of him lived.
κάτι άλλο κάπνιζε. Για να δω λοιπόν για τον Λούις.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Aha.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
Άλλο.
Wander.
Το μυαλό του Λουίς αυτό.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats and toads.
Luis.
And things that have not names.
Ο Λουίς δεν ήταν καλά. Είχε θεματάκια.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Sopa.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. Even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Utopia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
So far, Luis.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. Reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it.
Opa, τι έγινε. Πού να περάσουμε εδώ. Α. That.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Ωραία μουσική.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Πού πήγε ο Λουίς? Είχε μεγάλη φαντασία και κάπνιζε αυτό εδώ.
He began to forget the world we know.
Εδώ πέρα είναι το εργοστάσιο
I
που
think
δούλευε.
it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker.
Νάτος.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Δεν είναι εδώ. Πού πάω άραγε? Α, από εδώ. Τελικά θα ανεβαίνω εδώ.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Αυτοκτόνησε.
The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. Holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Όπα, κιλοτή είναι αυτό. Κεφαλίστηκε. Το μηχάνημα ρε φίλε. Με το μηχάνημα που έκοβε τα ψάρια το κεφάλι τους. Αποκεφαλίστηκε, αυτοκτόνησε. Ωραίο καημένος. Δεν ήταν καλά.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Τους βρήκα όλους. Ποια είναι τον? Ποιος είμαι εγώ?
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Δεν βγαίνω από εδώ παραναγκαστικά, δεν έχει... Α, να το, από το exit. Ωραία. Wow.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Κάτσε να ψάξω κάτι άλλο, μήπως έχει τίποτα εδώ πέρα μέσα. Αλλά πολύ ωραίο σπιτάκι αυτό ρε παιδί μου. Εδώ έχει τίποτα άλλαγε.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Edith, αυτή είναι η Edith. Εγώ δηλαδή είμαι η Edith. Φίλε, τι κάνει αυτή? Α.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue.
Θυμάσαι που το τραπέζι του βρήκαμε έτσι?
We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Να, Edith, αυτή εδώ είναι, είναι.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Υπάρχει κι άλλη.
He had a key to it.
Κι άλλη λέει entrance. Είσαι εδώ.
afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Α, την παράτησαν η γιαγιά.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
Απα. Εδώ το ζουμί.
That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
Την μέρα που γεννήθηκε είχαμε χωρίσει τα νερά,
Lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. My way.
Όπα, έχασε το δρόμο της, λέει.
I got turned around.
Λέει στην ομίχλη.
I started seeing things.
Όπα.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Ωρε φίλε.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Τα παλιά σπίτια του σπιτιού.
Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
Όπα.
It's mine. Edith. Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Θα διάβαζε στο της γιαγιάς και της το κόψε. Όχι ρε
To
φίλε.
scream, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Το μάξι με βγάλε.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Α, την αφήσαμε ό,τι γιαγιά.
The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Και έτσι εξαφανίστηκε η γιαγιά της.
After that, we moved around a lot. A few years went by.
Έτσι λοιπόν μάθαμε πώς εξαφανίστηκε η γιαγιά της.
My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Η μάνα της πέθανε.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Και είναι η τελευταία Finch.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Παιδί είναι έγκυος.
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you.
Είναι
And tell you all
έγκυος.
these stories myself. Things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Ναι, είναι έγκυος, ο γιος της ήτανε. Ο γιος είχε πάει, πιστεύω ότι είναι αυτή, αλλά δεν ήταν αυτή, ήταν ο γιος της που είχε πάει να ζητήσει τη ιστορία της μάνας του. Κοίταξε, αφιερωμένο στο Σίλο Ντάλλας 1948-2013. Πολύ ωραίο το παιχνίδι, πάρα πολύ ωραίο. Και το τερμάτισα μέσα σε 120 λεπτά. Περισσότερο χρόνο μου έδινε ό,τι θέλει. Λοιπόν, πάρα πολύ ωραίο το παιχνίδι. Έτσι ατμοσφαιρικό, συγκινητικό σε κάποια σημεία. Σου κρατάει αμύωτο το ενδιαφέρον όλη τη διάρκεια, αν και δεν έχεις πολλή ώρα να παίξεις. Παρ' όλα αυτά, επειδή εναλλάσσονται οι σκηνές με σένα, με τις ενέργειες που πρέπει να κάνεις, δεν το καταλαβαίνεις. Λοιπόν, είναι πάρα πολύ ωραίο το παιχνίδι. Μου άρεσε πολύ, βασικά η ατμόσφαιρα του μου άρεσε, το νόημα που θέλει να περάσει μου άρεσε. Λοιπόν, και γενικά θεωρώ ότι είναι ένα από τα πιο καλά παιχνίδια ατμοσφαιρικά που έχω παίξει. Λοιπόν, άλλο ένα live στο Twitch έχει τελειώσει. Μείνετε συντονισμένοι στο κανάλι μας στο Twitch. Ίσως ανέβει και το βίντεο αυτό και στο κανάλι μας στο YouTube. Θα δούμε. Λοιπόν, αν σας αρέσει το βίντεο, κάντε ένα follow. Λοιπόν, και θα ακολουθήσουν πολλά τέτοια lives. Λοιπόν, ήταν η Brother Zone. Να είστε πάντα καλά. Τα λέμε στο επόμενο live. Γεια σας.